Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Night Moves. This is Ramon Scott keeping you company tonight as we break down the best angles, the sharpest numbers, and those overnight moves that you have to be on top of to make sure you're winning sports better. Before we get rolling, I want to invite all of you, yes, you folks tuning in to me right now, to stick around, enjoy the show, and be part of our growing community here at Tony's Picks. Whether you're here for the late night breakdowns, insight from myself or my guest handicappers, or you just like hanging out with us, you're always welcome to join us here live on Night Moves and be a part of our chat room as well as we answer your questions and comments about the games coming up and about our website, tonyspicks.com. And hey, do us a solid, hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. It helps more than you know. Like it, share it, subscribe, and make sure you're joining us here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We've recently passed a 50,000 subscriber mark. And with your support, we're getting closer every day to new milestones here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Help us reach that milestone by sharing the stream, invite a friend, or just tap the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And that makes you a part of our Tony's Picks family on all of the shows here on the channel. All right, settle in, relax, and let's make some smart moves tonight here on Night Moves. This is Ramon Scott, and you're watching Night Moves on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, and let's get to the action. We'll start it off in the AFC in Denver. We saw last night Robert Kraft. He loves UFC. He was taking in the game there at T-Mobile Arena before heading to Denver. I would imagine if you're Robert Kraft, you're going to stay in Las Vegas tonight because the massage parlors in Denver pale in comparison to those in Las Vegas. So maybe he'll leave in the morning. The Patriots favored here in this one by 3.5, and the total here 43 is a travel into Denver. Well, we know the major storyline here anyway with this game, and we'll break down some of the trends and information for sure here with this one. But unfortunately for the Denver Broncos, they'll have to be in there with their backup quarterback in this game after Bo Nix did go down with an injury, and he's just going to miss the rest of the season, unfortunately, with that broken ankle. I guess is what it turned out to be there. Jarrett Stidham, a veteran who has NFL experience. He might be Mr. Preseason, really. He's really terrific when he's out there, but hasn't thrown a pass this season, or I don't think last season either. So he'll come in a bit cold. Good call by Denver here. Unlike some teams that were in a late season push when their quarterback went down and they might have called on other, you think of what Joe Flacco's done recently with some teams and Phillip Rivers and his situation with the Colts. That's never going to be the case for Sean Payton and Denver. I mean, he's going to roll with this guy. In fact, it may be a little bit of a ego there for Payton as he says, hey, we can do it with any quarterback in there. Now, Stidham probably even has a stronger, I would say, a stronger arm than Bo Nix. What makes Bo Nix so special? I mean, not only the ability to run, but when to run, I think, is what's made him so good. It's funny because Bo Nix, we think of him, I think he had a really solid season, but he still had several games where his, statistics really weren't up there, almost slow, low numbers, if you will, with some of his passing yards really in some of the games. But then again, he also turned in big performances as well. So Patriots are 15-1 in their last 16 with a 13-3 spread record in those games. Last 4 games, the Patriots have allowed just 10, 10, 3, and 16 points. And, Denver's offense is sometimes challenged, especially with this running game right now. There's only big question marks coming in with RJ Harvey here right now. Look, I like Beatty, I like McLaughlin, but it's really supposed to be on RJ Harvey. But for some reason, it's not a matter of not only not getting the carries but also not getting the yards on those carries. He's been a big underachiever, actually. And you're going two good run defenses in this game. I mean, Denver's a top two run defense in my mind, and also the Patriots. I've got them as a top seven defense here. So I think we tough on the run actually in this game. My favorite player actually probably in the entire game is Cortland Sutton. Of the Broncos here, I think Stidham might be able to find him here, but I think in general, my feeling is, and we've heard from plenty of experts and non-experts, probably like myself, but talking about how Stidham can fill the void here for Bo Nix. I mean, he's a veteran backup for sure. He's been with this team, and I think that's what I was saying about it is that you're going to go with a man who's a little bit, at least very familiar with the program, and that's just how Sean Payton does his business, too. I think so. Look, I think between Sutton and maybe Marvin Mims Jr., they can stay in this game, but I just think it's such a big drop off from Nix to Stidham. Not necessarily that if Stidham wasn't, was a starting quarterback in the league and had the repetitions every week, I think he might be okay in a matchup. This is the AFC Championship game. This is not a game where you're putting the guy in there. You are putting him in there for just the one game or more if they can win the game. But unlike the regular season where you might just need a guy for a week or two and get your starter back, there's a lot of pressure and you're playing more elite teams now. Maybe when you get thrust into the starting line if you don't have control, and you might be playing an elite team, but you might also be playing a subpar team. Here, you're playing one of the best teams in the league, obviously, in the New England Patriots. So, look, for the Patriots, Hunter Henry is probably my all systems go player maybe on this entire card. I think Hunter Henry, I would look to maybe even play Hunter Henry. Yeah, probably will. A multiple touchdown. I'll probably take him as a two touchdown guy in this game tomorrow. I think he is the difference maker. This will be a great, Hunter Henry's had a great career already, a pretty good career, real good career. I feel like this might be the Hunter Henry game actually for the Patriots. We'll see, but it was Drake May, and if that running game of the Patriots gets held in check by the Broncos, like I said, I think the Broncos have one of the best run defenses here by far. So can Henderson and Stevenson kind of get off tomorrow? Maybe I should say it vice versa, right? Stevenson and Henderson. Henderson, I'm not saying he's been a no-show, but they've obviously turned to Ramondre Stevenson here for the most part. I mean, he's turned in basically five outstanding games in a row coming in. Yeah, maybe the statistics weren't there so much in last game, but remember the key catches he had. Not a lot of yards, but he was getting the ball at the right time. So, but I think for me, out of the wide receiver core, I'd probably prefer Stephon Diggs here. I mean, it's easy to say, but well, I think I prefer him over Keyshawn Booty and Demario Douglas. Although remember, Douglas had that explosive touchdown kind of get the game going last time and kind of surprise everyone with his catches there anyway, right? To get that early touchdown. But I think, like I said, Hunter Henry for me and Austin Hooper. Watch out. Austin Hooper might get some action. I think the Patriots rely on the tight ends a lot tomorrow in the game to take them here over the top on the Broncos. Patriots have also been putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, so we'll see if Stedham has the maneuvers, the moves like Bo Nix, because the Patriots have 13 sacks in the last three games overall coming in. So Drake May is obviously 2-0 in his playoff career, but he's going to have to go on the road here. Now Vrabel is 4-3 in the playoffs, 2-1 on the road in his coaching career. Patriots as a favorite, 10-3 ATS this season. So good numbers. We know what the Patriots have been bringing all season. It's been a great run. Can they get back to the bowl? Will Denver use that home field advantage to their advantage, if you will, right? Because that's kind of what they're going to need, it feels like right now, to be able to get this done here against this Patriots team without their starting quarterback, and they're talking about the Denver Broncos here. So Patriots have allowed their team total to go their opponent's team total to go over just 2 times in 17 games, which is amazing figuring the Patriots have gone over in 10 of their last 13. So Patriots have produced a lot of offense. They produced some blowouts too. Yes, their schedule was easier. That's why they had a lot of one-sided victories. But again, they've done some things that are historically in line with teams that do reach the Super Bowl, and the Patriots are trying to get there for the 12th time. So for Stidham, he's 1-3 as an NFL starter overall, and also, he was a backup, remember, for the Patriots, actually, back in before the I think before the pandemic, or maybe during the pandemic season, but originally drafted by the Patriots. So, not a revenge thing or anything for Stidham. He's got other things to worry about here. For Peyton, 10-9 as a coach in the NFL playoffs. Of course, he does have a Super Bowl victory with the Saints, famously, and Denver 4-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. Underdogs covered 8 of their last 10 in the NFL playoffs. In their losses, Denver has given up some big points, and that's been a major concern with me because, their defense really has had some games that I've called this one a historical defense in some uh, parts of the season, but some of these games, the more the season goes along, the more they've thrown in some clunkers here, at least giving up a lot of points. So maybe they were a victim of an easy schedule as well. You get to play the Raiders twice after all. But these teams have split their last 6 meetings overall. They've also split the last 6 played between the two teams here in Denver. This is the first time since 2017 that a road team has been favored in the conference title game. This series has gone over in 6 of the last 8 meetings, and over the last 6 years, the favorites are 7-4-1 in the conference championship against the spread. So I can hear from you if you'd like in the chat right now. Denver and New England here. For me, it's just too tough to overcome this quarterback situation. If Stidham does it, that's going to be awesome, man. It'll be a story here. Not only that, it'll put a lot of money in his pocket because he'll get to move on from this situation. If he's so good, this right. We're hearing this. If he's so good, why is he a backup in the NFL? And you know what? There's a little bit of that makes sense a little bit. Of course, easy to say, right? Let's see what you guys have. Jerry Jones likes New England here, and Timmy Two Shoes likes the Patriots, and he's got Davis to get an INT. And also Jerry gives with his other pick there. May's got to get rid of the ball quicker or run when it's time to run, says Timmy. And Mr. Westwood says Stidham and May have the same experience really in this position, if you think about it, right? I mean, Stidham's been around enough years. Obviously doesn't have the game experience that May has, but Stidham's been out here in the league for many years right now. Jerry says New England by 11. Timmy says that Bronco defense is going to be – look, this is what the Broncos – they need to yuck it up, don't they, right now? I don't think they're looking to get in a shootout, although look at the total. If you look at all these numbers across the board with the props, the game total, experts, bettors, they're expecting Stidham to come out here and, in my opinion, close to match May, or maybe even outpass him here, because look, his numbers are very high. They continue to move higher. The total on this game has moved from 40.5 to 43. The funny thing is, I don't think that's what Denver want, unless if Stidham comes out here and he's had us fooled the whole time, and no one took a chance on this guy and he lights it up, then that's fine. We'll credit him and say, but to see the way these numbers have moved here, look, they say that big games aren't about the big money; it's the public money, right? And this one has only continued to move higher. All of Stidham's props have continued to move higher, not only his attempts, his completions, and his yards. So bettors, odds makers are expecting a big performance from Stidham, more so than maybe what odds makers had originally set there. Uh, with those original yards. These numbers here, these yardage numbers and prop numbers have gone, I don't know, through the roof a little bit. I don't want to say it like that, like it's a um, big push, but there's definitely been increase in the numbers for Stidham and the offensive numbers here with some of the props. So Cinna Figured Out says, why is it only four? And again, um, this we think of it right as why is it only, I get that, but it's only four because the home field advantage is huge in this round. Four is actually a very big number, uh, for a conference champion. I know we've seen some, uh, historical teams that have been favored in this game by more points than this. But in today's era, it's usually pretty close. Hey, hello to Devin in there. Jerry's got Seattle by 6. So I think the spread is just low enough for me to want to stay here with the Patriots and say they can get it done. I'm pretty sure that I'm on Denver if it is Bo Nix in there. What would the spread have been, right, with Bo Nix in there? I don't think that Denver would have been a massive favorite. In fact, you look at the look ahead lines, right? It was relatively close between the two. All right, let's see here. Maybe 26-20. Andre says Stidham for an interception. Mr. Westwood says the Houston defense about the same as Denver, except no interceptions from uh, uh, C.J. Stroud in there, but Bo Nix has had his issues with some interceptions as well. Let's see here. Hunter to get that TD. I'm going to take him for 2, I think, Timmy, also. I'll play the ATD and then go for another. Cinna Figured Out here says should be 7 or 10. And this one sounds like he likes the Patriots. Mr. Westers likes Denver to win this one on the money line here. And Jerry says 24-18 there right now. And Mr. West was starting to see some 4.5s here now, so might be going back up here all of a sudden. Mostly for me, I see 3.5 at Circa, 4 at Bet Online, 4 at Bovada, 3.5 at DraftKings right now. But Mr. West was starting to see some 4.5, so the money coming back there on New England right now. So Timmy says the Patriots have a decent pass rush. You could say that again. They really do have a decent pass rush. I think Patriots defense. I would say I don't think you're overlooked when you reach this stage, but I think as a whole, you don't have the necessarily the big names, maybe like Denver does on their defense. And let's see here. Any more here? And maybe Nick Foles, a little Nick Foles magic in there, something like that. Mr. Wesker says May was pretty mediocre against Houston, right? And yeah, Houston defense very comparable, I would say, right, to Denver's. Now, I would have said several weeks ago that Denver's defense was slightly better than Houston's, but I don't think I can make that claim anymore. And Peyton, does he have a coaching advantage here? Says Mr. Weskers, right? I think for me, I hope Peyton's ego doesn't get in the way here as it does so often with him there. We know that maybe Vrabel's Mr. Consistency or just the calm mind of the two there a little bit. And did you guys know that Coach Peyton's daughter is actually a sports betting analyst? Ironically enough, Coach Peyton's daughter, Megan, is actually a sports betting analyst. I think she's with DraftKings, or she's on some of those shows there. So, all right, Grable will have them good to go. Great comments from the chat here. Stidham interception, Harvey over in his receiving yards. maybe the check downs. So that would be big, right? So for me, I don't like Harvey's rushing at all. I don't know if I even like Denver's rushing at all. Again, McLaughlin, who I thought would kind of get the kind of the carries there last time. He did end up with 4 carries for 21 yards, but remember, Denver kind of went away from the run, and maybe they shouldn't have in that last game. But I think for me, I like Harvey. I like Harvey over in his receiving, but under in his rushing. You talk about exactly what Andre said there about the check down. So that's what I think is, Stidham. Uh, I don't think they're going to press him too much, but like I said, the yardage, the numbers kind of say that they are going to go. And one thing it is, if you have a strong arm like Stidham, it is easier to throw long passes than it is accurate short passes. Actually, obviously the bigger chances for a pick on some of those, but also you could just throw it as far as you can, not as far as you can, but hit your receivers with timing on deep routes. Okay, let's see here. Henry TD over in his catches. Thanks, Andre. Great plays in there. And Mr. Wesker says he just needs to not throw 5 interceptions like Stroud. I guess 4 would do it. If he only throws 4, maybe Denver is able to get that win. Andre here says May over in his passing and rushing yards. Timmy says Peyton probably wishes he had wacky Jameis Winston to back him up. Mr. West was Peyton's underrated or underestimated there. Yeah, maybe so. I think he's a good coach for sure. Mr. Westwood seems to be coach of the year this year. But let's see here. Take the Denver kicker in their field goal prop. No doubt, Andre. Look, I don't know. To me, Denver could get into a situation where they end up not, I don't want to say not kicking, but Peyton may be in certain situations where he has to go for it. So that'd be the only thing I'd question. But the statistics would say that in Denver, look, it's easy to say because of the thin air and the kicks go farther and everything like that. But statistically, it's proven that the kickers excel here in Denver, especially as long as the weather's fine. This is where if you want to kick, we know that. But all right, here, let's see. Mr. West would be 2.5 with Nick. So just goes to show you the disrespect of a guy like Stidham, right? That's a 6-point move. Bo Nix worth 6 points. I mean, is this Johnny Unitas out there? All right, Stevenson or Harvey. Hi to Denny Martez in the chat today. He's got an anytime touchdown. Kendrick Molo. Hi, Kendrick. Nice to see you. Watching on his cell phone here. And let's see here. Timmy Two Shoes. Over 4.5 field goals. I bet it's a decent price, Timmy. I think it sounds pretty good because, like I said, I think it's got to be for Denver. I think a muck it up is better here, right? I think Denver 19-17 is kind of like the direction that they need it to be, I think. Like I said, although the numbers would indicate that, yes, higher scores are more anticipated right now. Mr. West says, who do I have as coach of the year here? Vrabel or McDonald? Yeah, McDonald too, right? I think Vrabel might be the preferred guy for me. I don't know. Andre says he thinks points will be at a premium in this game. That may indeed be the case. I mean, the total obviously here now at 43. Like I said, this opened 40 and a half. And, that was that was knowing that Stidham was going to be in the game. But what's happened here is that people have just shown a certain level of confidence here in Stidham this week, like the Broncos should not miss a beat. So, hey, if it happens, terrific. I'm going to take the New England Patriots here, -3.5. I think it is a big difference, actually, going from Nix to Stidham here. Look, if it was a regular season game, we might be less inclined to not want to take a backup quarterback just because the nature of it's not as big of a deal here. But I think when you have everything magnified like the championship game, that's what's going to put me on the Patriots here in this one. I think you guys there, we got Andre Denver in the points. I think we got all the comments in from you guys. It'll take one or two more here if you want, and enjoy the AFC Championship game. Cold conditions, but not horrible here. Just 22 degrees. That's all there. Expected precipitation near the end of the game possible. It might be over by the time the snow flurries or the move in here, but there is a possibility near the end of the game for some snow. But for the most of the game, it's just cloudy conditions. But 22 degrees, yeah. Denver's a little bit north of that big cold front, but it's Denver. It's cold. So, all right.
Thank you for watching. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for Ramon's best bets and his premium picks, be sure to click the link in the description to take you right over to Ramon's handicapper page at tonyspicks.com.